Hi there, welcome back. In this video, we're going to look at completing the square. And we need to complete the square when we have a trinomial that we can't factor using factor pairs, okay? So your steps are up here. First thing that we need to do is rewrite this so that our constant is on the right side of the equation and our x squared and x terms are on the left. So for this equation, we're going to subtract both sides by 56. So we're going to say x squared minus 18x. I'm going to leave a space to finish my perfect square equals, and then 0 minus 56 is a negative 56. Okay, I need to complete the square to find my value that goes in here. So I'm going to look at my b term, which is negative 18. We have to divide that by 2 and then square it. So negative 18 over 2 is a negative 9, and then negative 9 squared is an 81. So I'm going to add 81 in here to complete my square. So now I have a perfect square trinomial. In order to keep my equation balanced, I'm going to add 81 on the right side of my equal sign as well. Now I can factor my perfect square trinomial. So x squared, the square root of that is x, and then the square root of 81 is 9, and then I'm going to look at the sign of b. Since b is negative, I have to keep the negative in the bottom, or in my factored form. This way, negative 9x plus negative 9x is a negative 18x, and then negative 9 times negative 9 is a positive 81 when we square that. Okay, simplify the right hand side. Negative 56 plus 81 gives me 25. And now I have a quantity squared, so I'm ready to take the square root of both sides. Okay, now the square root of this quantity is just what's inside, so x minus 9 equals. And then the square root of 25 is plus or minus 5. And then we need to solve for x, so we're going to add 9 to both sides. So x equals 9 plus or minus 5. Now because we don't have any variables here, we need to simplify these, okay? So we know that x equals 9 plus 5, which is 14, and x equals 9 minus 5, which equals 4. So our solution would be x equals 4 or 14. So we would expect this graph to cross the x-axis twice. Okay. Example 2, same steps as before. We have x squared and 12x. If we're solving by completing the square, we need to subtract that 43 from both sides. So x squared plus 12x. Leave a blank space equals, and then 0 minus 43 is negative 43. I'm going to complete the square by looking at my b term. So 12 divided by 2 n squared. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 squared is 36. And we need to remember to add that to both sides of our equation. And now I can factor my perfect square trinomial. The square root of x squared is x. My b term is a positive. The square root of 36 is 6. And this quantity needs to be squared so that when I FOIL this, it gives me this trinomial. And then negative 43 plus 36 is a negative 7. And again, now I have a quantity squared equals a constant, so I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And I get x plus 6 equals, and here I have to pull out this negative. So the square root of a negative 1 is I, and we have the square root of 7, and don't forget your plus or minus. Okay, and then just one more step, subtract your 6. So x equals, and remember the a plus bi form, I reminded you up here in case you forget. So the negative 6 comes first, that's our constant, plus or minus, and then our imaginary component, I square root of 7. Okay. Go ahead and do the check your understandings and the rest of the activity, and I'll see you in the next lesson.